Hey everybody. Want to first thank you guys for being CAs for Thanksgiving break. Really appreciate the work that you're about to do. And I know that we've met earlier, but I wanted to touch base with you and just go over some reminders and provide you with some new information. So let's go ahead and jump in. First, let's talk about payroll. You will need to make sure that you touch base with an office worker in Walwork this week, as they have to submit their hours, and they will train you on how to submit hours. So that's number one. Number two, note that so far I think the information that you provided, payroll, is fine, and you will be able to be compensated in 2 weeks. So payroll should be good to go. You just need to work with someone in Walwork in the front office about how to input your hours, and you should be good to go. The second thing is football, and I wanted to address that early. The football team, as you might know or should know or know, that they are going to be playing on this Saturday here at IUP. They will be checking into Walwork on Friday between 1 and 3 p.m. And on Saturday, if they win, they will be staying until, and not checking out until next, I think the 25th, which would be that Sunday after. So if they win this Saturday, they will remain in break housing. They'll probably leave on Wednesday for Connecticut, play on that next weekend, pretty much of Thanksgiving week, and then they will return back to Indiana, and they'll check out on Sunday. If they lose this Saturday, they will check out on Saturday. And what I'm going to ask is that two of you, or all of you, okay, whoever can be there, will be there on Saturday, this Saturday, to check the football players out. I think the office should open at 3:30. I know that the game begins at 12. It's usually about 3 hours. And so I'm thinking that 3:30 is a safe time. Okay? Please email me and let me know who will be sitting in the office to check these students, the football players, out. And please make sure that you document those hours that you've worked. Okay, so second is the binder. Okay, this binder will be available to you on Saturday. I will probably be dropping it off on, if not tomorrow evening, Friday morning. Or actually Friday afternoon, I'm sorry. So this binder will be in Walwork. Inside the binder, you'll find SCFs for Thanksgiving break housing folks. Anyone who is moving in from outside of Walwork needs to fill out one of these SCFs. Anyone. It's important that we document this information, and I think we found that it really helped us as far as connecting with students. If there were any key issues, if there were any just damages, then we were able to have their information documented so that we could address the situation or address them later, after Thanksgiving break. So please make sure that you use these SCFs. The other thing, it's not in here now, but there will be a roster that I will get from Jill Eckenrode, who's here in the housing office, and that roster will be available for you so that when students move in, you can highlight the folks who are there. We talked about, in our first training, we talked about going on rounds for those who currently live in Walwork, who are they're going to be there for break. Please make sure that you highlight those students also. So you'll be doing that the first night, so Saturday. Okay? The key to Pratt office will also be in the back of the binder. So if someone from University Towers gets locked out, you can utilize this key to gain access to Pratt office, the key to their room, so that they can get in. We aren't doing anything out of the ordinary for break housing, folks. Okay, so please make sure that you're following the SOP. Whatever you would do in the normal, in the fall, day to day, please make sure that we're doing the same. We're not issuing anyone, a key for long periods of time, and we just want to make sure that we're following the procedures so that we can have a pretty organized and a successful week. I think it will produce a successful week if we're following the procedures as normal. In the binder, you will also find that there are going to be 2 schedules. One schedule has your personal cell phone numbers. One has your room phone numbers. Okay? The schedules that have your personal cell phone numbers, each one of you can take one and take it to your room so that you can connect with folks if you need to. But also, it helps you to see who's on duty. The second one with your room numbers, that can be posted all throughout Wallwork and University Towers so that residents know who to contact on what days and the phone number, the room numbers, okay? The other signs that I will place in here are, there will be a sign that might say CA is on duty, for assistance, please call, or something like that. CA is on rounds, please return. CA is on rounds, we'll be back in 15 minutes. For assistance, please call. Something to make sure that we are connecting with our residents. If they need us, we're accessible. And I think that's important. The University Police and the folks here in OHRLD will have access to your cell phone number information so that if they need to connect with you throughout the week, that they can do that. Especially the folks who are on call, they'll have your cell phone numbers. But other than that, the residents will not have your numbers, okay? Just University Police and our office, our main office. I can't even remember if I said this, but we will be issuing you a phone, and we'll make sure that that cell phone number is available to residents only. But again, not your personal number, so I don't want anybody to panic. We will also have, in the binder, I'll also place in here the expectations and information sheet so that you're aware of my expectations and the office's expectations of you throughout the week. Note that, for example, residents who are in break housing are not permitted to have guests. Follow protocol, follow the SOP. If you need to call the RD on call and use them as a resource, please do that as if if this was the normal semester. If you need to call University Police, please do that. They are going to know who's on duty, so they're going to be aware of possible phone calls. Just make sure that you're connecting with us if you need assistance. I don't want you to feel as if you're by yourself here on campus, but there are folks who are in arm's reach who will be able to assist you. I was trying to think if there was something else. Please document the times that you're working. I will have a timesheet in the binder so that each one of you can document your hours. If you're working outside of the hours that are allotted, for example, the check-in, check-out, or someone unexpectedly decides they want to check out throughout the day and they might call, please make sure that you're documenting those kinds of hours so that we can make sure you're compensated. And please make sure that you're working together and communicating with one another. If you decide that you need to switch or an emergency, you run into an emergency, please make sure that you're communicating with one another about those hours and someone who can take over your shift. And just be mindful that the way you guys chose your hours was based on making sure that everyone had an equal amount of time. So make sure that you're conscious of that if an emergency comes up and you need to do some switching. I think that's about it. Please email me if you have any questions. Send me an email. I would be glad to answer any questions between now and even Friday. You know, between now and Saturday. Send me an email ASAP, and I'll try to make sure I jot all these questions down and get back to you guys and reply all so that we're all on the same page. So we've talked about payroll. We've talked about some expectations in the information sheet. The information that you can expect in the binder. We've talked about the schedule. Note that duty begins at 7, and when you're on duty, as soon as you start duty, please make sure that you are calling the Residence Life staff person on call so that they know that you're in the office safely. And also, because we're issuing you one phone, when you're on duty, you guys need to decide who's going to carry the phone, who's going to have the phone overnight, so that, you know, when those calls come in, you know which one of you is going to be contacted. So I think that that's about it. I will leave notes in the binder. Again, I think that you will be fine. You have plenty of resources. I will send an email to the Residence Life person who is on call to make sure they're on the same page. And I think that's it. So please email me if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to assist you. Thanks.